Hello there. How's it going? Let me switch to the right camera view. There we go. How's it going? Greetings. This was just kind of, like I said last night, I was just going to do a quick little live stream. Well, we'll see how quick it is, but a live stream tonight because it's clear and I've got the two telescopes out and hopefully it'll be reasonable. I want to try to revisit some of the targets I did last night, but I'm also going to check a couple of things. Hi, Wiley Site, long time. um, yeah, we've been making some changes. I haven't pulled down the latest changes, but the Seestar ALP kind of automated alpaca kind of adapter API, the web front end that we built recently, or that was built recently. There's been some changes since last night, and Wiley Site added a bunch of controls and commands, and maybe actually no, I think I would break the code I have if I tried to pull that down right now, because I have some local changes I made today. But yeah, so let's get to it. I have again, I'm doing an experiment tonight again where I'm also streaming this to Twitch, just because if anybody stumbles across the stream on Twitch, actually a few people, a handful of people actually ran across it on Twitch yesterday, which was kind of interesting. Towards the end of the stream, I guess maybe there was, yeah. So, so I've got the same setup as yesterday, two Seestars. I have an app running on my laptop and on my phone to monitor the two Seestars, but we're going to control everything today using the API and web interface. So, but first, before I do that, I'm going to get these up on screen and do the initial alignment, which I have not yet done. So you can see right now, the two of them are just kind of randomly pointing. And unfortunately, I see a little wisp of a cloud there. So hopefully that the Astrospheric was saying only like 2 or 3% cloud cover, but we'll see. So let's go to this view, and I'll start with, the other thing you might notice, going back to this view, it was recommended because I was saying I was having a problem with the horizontal calibration, and I swapped the telescopes today. I put one to the right, one to the left. Maybe if there's a specific obstruction that's getting to one, we'll see what the net result was. But the one that's currently on the left is the one that had horizontal alignment issues on the first target. It eventually horizontally calibrated itself, but we're going to start. Let me switch back to the multi-view. What's interesting is since I was controlling both telescopes through the Seestar web interface, you can see that besides the aligned star here, nothing showed up in the history, which makes sense because that's an app specific thing. But so we're going to go back to this, and we're going to go to that, and then I will do the same on the other one. And hopefully it's doing that slow loading thing right now. We'll see. Okay. So the other one is already on its way. Oh, I don't have to actually wait for it to load. So let's go to that and go. So now this one's going, and once they align, I take an initial image, which forces it to do the dark frame calibration and the horizontal alignment. Well, first the horizontal alignment and then dark frame initial kind of setup, and then it's off to the races. So this one is still identifying and it succeeded, so that's good. I think what I'm going to do is what I did yesterday. I'm going to force an autofocus. This one's at 1734. So we will force an autofocus. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Autofocus. Okay. It was at 1734. This one is still aligning. The Comet C, the 2023A3 Suchastan. Anyway, that one, Atlas, is hanging out just above the west obstructions. Oh, just above. Well, that's good. So this was at 1734. It moved just a little bit, the focus, which is fine. So I'm going to try to image this now. And it's going to do the horizontal calibration, and hopefully that'll actually work. Meanwhile, is the other one even... For some reason, it's having a hard time even acquiring the target, which is interesting. So first calibration point on the one, and second calibration point. Meanwhile, the other one is having a hard time even getting started. We're off to an inauspicious start, moving to the third calibration point. And again, this is the one that horizontally calibrated just fine last time. That's what I was going to do. I forgot. I was going to actually swap the tripods. Yeah. So that looks like that succeeded. Whereas this one is having an issue even getting going. Let me stop this. Let me stop this and see what's in the frame. Oh, it's not even pointing at the star. Oh. Okay, well that's off to a bad start. It's like it's confused as to where it is. So let me just try another. Let me go to Stellarium and find another thing that can. Yeah. Meanwhile, the horizontal calibration succeeded on that other one. So the star that I'm trying to find is that one. Yeah, that one should be visible. So let's see what this one is. Wait. This one is 2.6. And this one is 2.7. It's about the same. Maybe something not as high. Just looking for bright stars. Maybe I'll try that one. I'll go to this one. And let's look at, let me look at the browser, see what we're up against. Because maybe wanted to bring up the, so this one should be pointing kind of towards the east, which would be this way. And it looks like it is. And it realized it was pointing at the wrong direction, and then it aligned itself. But wait, where is it? Is it pointing? Huh. Did it rotate all the way around? Oh. Interesting. Hi, Joe. You're having a hard time getting the declination to accept the value. What format are you using for the declination? There were some bugs, not bugs, bugs. There were bugs in the handling of the. I mean, I kind of did a quick and dirty, a little too quick and dirty initial pass at it, but then Wiley Site has made improvements to it. Okay, so let's see if it can horizontally calibrate. So this one is already past a minute, so I'm going to stop this. That one is all ready to go. And yeah, so that's ready to go. Use current position. Okay. First calibration point. Will it actually get to the second calibration point? And I have a feeling it's going to fail. I don't know why, but I have a feeling it's going to fail. Yep, it failed. Yeah, you can see it here. And I don't think it's because of the cord, because the other one has a cord too. You just can't really see it well, but it's like right there, kind of hanging out of frame. And that's just so, okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't take the actual symbols for degrees, minutes, and seconds. It takes, like Wiley Site said, you have to put in and you can put spaces in there. At least that's what I was doing yesterday, like 31D space 44M space 21.1S. Okay, great. Yeah, so Wiley Site was adding, basically there's a whole bunch of commands in the API. This Seestar ALP or API, but you can see it came with kind of, and I've showed this before, like a developer tool, but it has like a lot of different commands here. Filter wheel, focuser, like look at all these kind of commands, get stacking settings, and then startup sequence, and then plate solving stuff. So it's a whole, some of these are already kind of implemented through other screens, but most of these are not implemented. And so that's what Wiley Site, I would demo it, except I had some local changes, unfortunately. But we'll get that merged in. Yeah, I think it does take space delimited ones. I was putting the characters there just in case, and so autofocus isn't working. That's okay. We'll get there. But yeah, so this is finally imaging. I'm going to let it image for a little bit more, and then I'll be ready to get both of them working, or working on stuff. And what I was going to look at is, while this is going on, I was actually wanting to look at supernovas to see if there were any new ones, because stars are always exploding somewhere in the universe. um, where's this one? It acknowledges the request but doesn't appear to do anything interesting. Interesting. Why does the thing sometimes not dismiss? There we go. So the imaging of Saturn is almost done. It's up to, I'll let it go for a little bit longer. But let's see what this, so NGC 3611 I don't think is visible. Most of these probably aren't going to be visible to me right now. But let's see. 4699. I have a feeling all the galaxies won't be visible, but won't know until I look. 4699. Oh, so close. Look at that, so close. It's just out of view here. And that's to my, yeah, to the southwest. So just barely out of view. Oh yeah, the, maybe we'll look at that before I get going. What was it? The Blaze Star was, it was, wow, that's high in the sky. That's going to be difficult. I should manually dial that in right now. So it's IC 4587. Let me get this. I'll get this one stopped. Actually, before I forget, I want to autofocus this. And then I'm going to try going to IC. Yeah, and I mean, like there's a very solid probability, but not to be, yeah, IC 4587, thanks. But I do wonder if it ends up like not going nova when they expect it to. But we'll see. Okay, that's about right. So let's go to this and search for, before it gets too high in the sky, because it's up pretty high. I see 4587. Oops. I was actually thinking, what I had talked about yesterday is being able to maybe just, well, first we want to add the ability to look up targets in the web UI, but I was thinking it would be nice to just kind of give it a list of targets and it would kind of look up things. And that would be kind of cool if I could just kind of pick, like, just always have that on the list, the this IC 4587, and just automatically image it every night. Okay. Well, I don't see anything. I'm going to start imaging, but there's nothing particularly bright compared to the other stars in that frame. So I'm guessing it hasn't gone off yet. So let's go look at, the frame would look like this. And what we really want, so so since it'll be centered on IC, it'll be just to the upper right, the T Coronae Borealis. Okay, first calibration point. Well, it actually got through the first calibration point. Now it's moving on to the second one. Well. Will we see a third calibration point? And we might see a third calibration point. Well, considering this one wasn't horizontally calibrated, that would be good, because that'll make things hopefully go a little bit more smoothly. later. Okay, auto centering. And yeah, so I'll image it because T Coronae Borealis isn't that faint of a star, so it should pretty much immediately show up. And if once it goes nova, it definitely won't require almost any exposure. So auto centering. But yeah, there's a lot, and so if I'll put, well, actually, let me put a link in the chat. So .com. Yeah. Yeah, if you haven't checked out the source, this is the main repository for the code. And yeah, check it out. There's a web interface, instructions, there's a Discord server for, and we've recently started adding issues of, new functionality that we want to add to, or that anybody wants to add to the front end. So check that out. Yeah. Yeah. Do you actually, are you actually running the Indie driver? So somebody added, since I run on Mac, it's relatively straightforward to get this web interface running on Windows computers. And when you do, you can see where the Seestar is pointed in the sky and kind of click to go to a point. But it was a bit trickier with Macs. And so somebody wrote an Indie driver, which makes it a lot more straightforward, but I haven't run it yet. Because right now it's in a Docker container, and I run Docker, but not all the time. Okay, so this is the blaze star. So it has not blazed, and yeah, I'm gonna get a minute exposure out of it, and then leave it at that because I have other ones, so it'll be kind of good to compare. Okay, so that's it. We got a minute of the blaze star, and it has not blazed. Yeah. So now what we are going to try to figure out, or what I want to do is, let me go back to the supernova list just because, so this is just out of the field of view. I think most of these are going to be off limits because most of the galaxies are kind of out of view for me. I'm going to move this off screen to make life easier for me. Let me turn this off and go to 3524. Actually, what I need to do is turn back on. Yeah, I have, yeah, not even close to visible. And most of the rest of them are too faint. So just for grins, I'll try, I think NGC 4226. Oops. Oh, and that is very close, but no cigar. Let me see. Oops. Let me see if it would have been visible just before the sunset. So needless to say, not visible. Well, that's too bad. Okay, so yeah, so no supernovas today. But it's, since there's always the chance that something new will be visible, I wanted to check it out. Yeah, Stellarium just talks to Seestar via ASCOM, but that's on Windows, because like the COM was like COM port stuff. Yeah, it's the people who have it running really like it, but I don't have it running because I mostly run on Mac. But the Indie driver I need to get running. I need to just go ahead and try that out. Maybe I'll do that next week if I have clear weather. My plan is to is basically to have these kind of live observing streams whenever it's clear. Not tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, but everything else is looking iffy. Maybe the following week, but I mean this is a few days out, so it might change. But so let's go back to the target or to the Seestar controller. Since yesterday, I've Wiley Sites added a bunch of commands on a different screen that I don't have on this version yet. But then I added an actual switcher, so I can be looking at the Seestar B, and I can switch over to Seestar A, and so I can more easily. Like yesterday, I had two different windows, two different panes open, pointing at each telescope's controller. Yeah, that would be handy, and that's kind of why I want to use it, especially because, yeah, I think that would be very handy. But I will try to do that maybe this week. So yesterday, I had started a list, and I'm going to go revisit that list. Now, I did a bunch of globular clusters yesterday, and today I don't think I'll be doing as much globular clusters, but at least I want to make sure I'm not revisiting things I already did. So let me see. Okay, I have my list from yesterday. Mostly I did the North American Nebula on one of them, but that wasn't until a little later. Just a little later, because it needs to be, it's not quite visible yet. Yeah, see, it's, this probably isn't real. It's probably obstructed. Yeah, I have a very challenging sky, very, very challenging. It's quite the exercise to try to figure out what I can see. So on one of them yesterday, I had M12, M10, M14, M56. Those are all globular clusters. And so I don't want to do those. So let us look at some things we could try. So this is, I'm pretty sure I got M92. Did I do it yesterday? Oh, you know what? I tried to do M92 yesterday and it failed because the clouds rolled in. So I'm going to do M92. And I think M71 failed as well, but I'm not sure if that's visible yet. So I'm going to start with M92, and then where is M? What was it that failed? I just said M71. Is that visible? 71. Nope, not visible. Now these two I imaged. I started off with M12 and M10. I didn't do M5, I don't think, because I've imaged M5 before. So let's see if there's anything over here that's about to disappear from view. Like, some of it isn't real, some of this stuff isn't real, but some of it is all too real, unfortunately. Yeah, it's an NGC object. I'm trying to stick to Messier. That's interesting. The ghost. Maybe I'll do the ghost globular cluster, even though it's not a Messier one. So I'll start with NGC 4897. Let's see what else is kind of down in this. Oh, what's this? I wonder if I should try this one. I'm going to try this one. Why not? 5824. And so, yeah, it's got the skies are really constrained here. And I think I got this one. Oh, M107. I don't think I did that one yesterday. Now that one's just starting to get visible, so I'll do it after. I'll do that after I do some of the other ones, these other two. And yeah, so I did those. This one I need to try. I'm not even sure if I'll be able to get that one. So that's 5634. Wait, I didn't even put, did I write down the wrong number? Oh no, I didn't actually add this one. It was this one I added. That's fine. I'll skip that one for now. Is there anything up here that I might be able to see? What's this? Spindle Galaxy. But how high in the sky is that? That is not actually too high. Yeah, let me try. Which direction is this? Yeah, let me try that one. M102. Actually, maybe I'll do it on the other telescope. Seestar B is the taller one. So, yeah, let me try that one. Actually, let me go ahead and trigger that off in case it's, because I don't know if that's even still visible. So that will be, which one do I want to do this on? I want to do it on, sorry, I'm just trying to get the, okay. So I want to do M102. I'm going to do it on, I'm going to do it on this one, the other one. And I'm going to just do a single shot kind of non-mosaic. So it is 15 hours, 6 minutes, 31.03 seconds. No, I didn't do image. M102, 15 hours, 6 minutes, 31.03 seconds, and 55 degrees, 46 minutes, 1.8 seconds. Use J2000. I'm going to do, I don't think I'll be able to image it that long, but I'll try doing 10 minutes. I doubt it'll last that long. Oh, I broke it. What did it, oh. So you can see, so just like yesterday, live observing and live coding at no extra charge. So it was complaining that the do create image, oh, so I go open front end, do create image, and is that it? Where else do I run that? Nope, that was all I was missing, I think. So let me kill and restart this, and then go back to the web interface. And if I hit reload it and then say, go ahead and repost the form, boom, it worked. Yay, toggle. Now it's running. Oh, I'm rushing because I think this thing is barely visible right now. So it should be this one that starts moving. and it's going to turn around the other direction. It should, I think. Yep. So it's starting to turn. Unfortunately, I see some high clouds, but they're not as bad as the ones yesterday so far. Like these, we can work around, I think. So it should end up like this LED won't be visible because it'll be on the other side, and it should be pointing basically towards the top of the frame, I think. I hope. It's a little slow. And this was the one that, yeah. This was the one that was most, I think, most likely to disappear shortly. And it, because the telescopes are in a slightly different position, it might actually be too late already, but we will see. And it's actually, it's actually, it's actually this one. It's claiming it's identifying. But I am a little concerned that maybe it's not even, that it's already obstructed. And the other thing that's interesting about this, there should be a dew shield, but it was kind of breezy outside. I wonder if the dew shield blew off, like onto the ground, because it just kind of friction mounts in the kind of lens area, but I don't see it. It was there earlier, but maybe it fell off. Yeah, this is having problems. If it doesn't identify it, I'm going to stop it and just see if it's already pointing at a building, because that would probably be typical. Of course, I'm not even sure it's pointing in the right direction, but that's beside the point. Okay, I'm going to cancel this. Yep, see, it's pointing at a building. So, too late. Oh well. So, M102, I could potentially get that, but if I tried it right at like 9:30 or like an hour earlier, obstructed. Okay, so moving on. Let me get these other ones dialed in. So it's gonna start with NGC, and I'll actually let them, I won't set fixed times because it might immediately fail, in which case that's fine. I can move on to the next one. Although part of me wants to go, I think I'm going to actually do it with this other telescope that I was just, I think I'm going to stick with the one that I already was working with, because it's taller and it's further away, so it should have better clearance. So let us go to this and that, and so I'm going to clear the schedule and start off with this. Start with NGC 5824, and it's 15 hours, 3 minutes, 59.58 seconds. This sure is tedious. It'll be nice once we fix this. Then again, it's once you dial it all in, you don't have to do anything. So I'm going to do like I did yesterday, 10-minute exposures, 80 gain. Submit. Did that actually? Oh. Yeah. Did that actually? Oh. It was telling me the value is incorrect. Why is it not correct? Oh. Transposed. Hey, the validation works. Awesome. And it was staring me right in the face too. Okay. So that the scheduler isn't running good. So let's move on to the next one. Next one is 5897. 5897. And that one is, I just see 5897. And it's 15 hours, 17 minutes, 25.34 seconds, and minus 21 degrees, 0 minutes, 40.6 seconds. J2000. I didn't pick J2000. Dang it. Use light pollution. No. Use autofocus. No. Okay. Okay, great. That worked. That queued it up. Now M107. And that is, yeah, so M107 is 16 hours, 32 minutes, 33.04 seconds, minus 13 degrees, 3 minutes, 14.6 seconds. Use J2000. Okay. And we have, I had M92, and that will get that one going for a bit. So, now that one will be in a completely different area of the sky. But, M92 and 17 hours, 17 minutes, 9.12 seconds, 43 degrees, 8 minutes, 14.9 seconds. Use J2000, I keep forgetting. And that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start that schedule because that's gonna run for a bit. And you can see it's starting to go. And we can go look at the live view, so it should start moving shortly. I'm going to take a sip of water. Now, after this is done, I am kind of eager to get Wiley Sight's new code in. Yeah, that's funny. The dew shield fell off. Oh well. Identifying. So once that finishes, then we can move on to yeah, so once that is done, okay, it claims it's, now this one I didn't do J2000, unfortunately. The good thing is it doesn't look obstructed, so it should be in the frame of view. So that's positive. Oh, let me move my laptop a bit. I have to move it so I can see the screen better. Let's see. Once it gets the first image, I'll see where it thinks the globular cluster is. Hopefully it's like one of them was kind of faint. One or two of them was kind of faint compared to some of the other globular clusters I've imaged. And this is also very low in the sky, so it might be kind of having issues. It might have some issues. Let us see. Okay, is that it over here? Let me see. Yep, so it's over there. It's off center, but at least it's in the frame. Probably because I didn't do J2000. I didn't think it would be that much of a drift, but I guess it is. Yeah, I guess. It's because the Earth precesses every 22,000 years, and J2000 versus J now is 20 years, so that's like a thousandth. So yeah, that would be a fraction of a degree, like not quite half a degree. So that makes sense. Like if it's supposed to be off center and it ends up. Now this I'm not thrilled about. I mean, this isn't as bad as it was yesterday, but we'll see if it gets worse. Oh well. So that so this one will be going for how long? It was 40 minutes. 4 targets, 10 minutes each. Um, yeah. So it's on this one first, and then 3 more. So I might as well start. The other one is idle, so I can start looking at targets for that one. And yeah, I could set this up ahead of time, but what's the fun of that? I mean, I wouldn't have I was able to find a bug and fix it on air. Uh, let's see. M56. Did I get M56 yesterday? Let me see. I want to close that. So that is going now. Let's see. M56. I did do M56 yesterday, so I'm not going to do it again. Maybe I'll do some of these open clusters. Actually, the one thing I did do a little bit yesterday that I should do right now is go bring up this astronomical calculations and see what is visible now. So these are the things on the Messier catalog. I've got M1, M10, M12, M13. I've done hours of M13. M14 I did yesterday. M29. Did I do M29 yesterday? I didn't do M29. I should do M29. I think I was avoiding doing open clusters yesterday, but I should go ahead and do M29, M29, and then M39. So M29 is, yeah, that should be visible. M39 may or may not be visible because this thing is not necessarily accurate. So wait, that was M39. M52. Did I do M52 yesterday? I think I did M52 yesterday. No, I did not. So I'll do M52. And really, the North American Nebula is over here anyway, so I want to image that area anyway. So M56. Wait, M56. Did I do M56? Yeah, I did M56 yesterday. I was basically on a globular cluster journey yesterday. I've done the Ring Nebula before. M92, yeah, we're doing that on the other telescope. M102 failed, and M107 I'm going to be doing. So those are all of the, so I've got 2 Messier objects, 2 open clusters, so I can do those for 10 minutes each. But let's see what else we can see. So this is Messier catalog objects. Jack, I thought it said Jack Benny, not quite. Jack Benny. Let's see, nebula. Are there any nebula? Nope. I mean, the problem is this I think this classification is a little off. Some of the things end up being H2 regions. Principal solar system objects, star clouds, star clusters. Actually, what solar system objects are visible? Oh, Pallas and the comet. Solar system, comets, minor bodies, star clouds. Star clouds? Nope. Super remnant candidates, supernova remnants, peculiar galaxies. Do we have any interacting? Oh, we have some interacting ones, but they're all mostly too faint. And I have a feeling these are obstructed anyway. Oh. Huh. Yeah, maybe some other day. Well, rumpled starfish galaxy. Let me go look for H2 blazars. Cool. Bright double stars, bright quasars, bright stars with high proper motion. Catalog of southern stars embedded in nebulosity. H2 regions. North American. Which one is this one? Oh, that's something. I should get more data on that. Yeah, see, that one is iffy, but is the Bubble Nebula visible yet? No, that's definitely iffy. Although, will it be visible? Because that's one I had started doing. And in an hour, it definitely should be visible. But maybe I go ahead and try that one. After I do these others. So I'll put down NGC as a candidate. 7635 Bubble Nebula. And see, it's very difficult to even plan some of this because so many things are obstructed. And if I start slightly later, it's already too late. Okay. So where is, maybe I try the crescent since that's kind of my go-to. And so maybe I'll do more crescent nebula. I'll do like maybe 20 minutes of that before I do the bubble nebula, which will give it more time to get higher in the sky. 20 minutes. And that's an open cluster, 10 minutes. Open cluster, 10 minutes. Okay. Now what else do we have here? These are all H2 regions, and we're going to do North American Nebula. I think that's good enough. I'll go ahead and schedule that because that's also 4 items. So now I switch over to this one, and we'll go image, and the first one on the schedule will be M29, an open cluster. I know the emoji catalog keyboard is up. So M29, 20 hours, 23 minutes, 57.44 seconds, 38 degrees, 31 minutes, 18.1 seconds. Hold on. I'll start this 680 and go, and then we'll do M52 That is going to be an iffy one, but that's okay. If it fails, it fails. M52, 23 hours, 24 minutes, 48.85 seconds, 61 degrees, 35 minutes, 18.5 seconds. Use J2000. Submit. And then NGC 6800. I mean, 6888. And 6888 is 20 hours, 12 minutes, 8.52 seconds, 38 degrees, 21 minutes, 13.9 seconds, J2000, and I'm going to do this one for 20 minutes. And I need to use the light pollution filter. And go. And then the final target is Bubble Nebula, and I think I'll do that one for 20 minutes as well. Oops. And that is NGC 7635. And that is NGC 7635. And that is 23 hours, 20 minutes, 49.1 seconds, 61 degrees, 11 minutes, 50.0 seconds. Use J2000. I'm also going to do 20 minutes. Use the light pollution filter and go. This all looks good. I'm not going to edit it even if it doesn't, so turn that on. No, why does it think I need to translate it? Okay, so that is running. And I can actually look at the API and it should be going to M. Actually, that's the other one. It just switched to M29. So let me, oh yeah, M29, sorry. It's the same one. And then this one is still running on, it's on actually the second target. So this one is imaging, and you can see the clusters in the middle, which is good because I actually picked J2000 for that. Great. And actually, I just need to turn off the night. I think night shift is on. There we go. Better. All right. So I have 2 of them queued up and running. I need to check something real quick on my computer. Yeah, so this is great. Did a few minutes of work and now I don't have to do anything. Actually, what I can do is I can switch to the to my Omni view, for lack of a better term for it. And there. So now we can see all of the scopes going. And kind of in the background here, you can see the what the API is doing behind the scenes. And unfortunately, I see that the all sky camera, there are some more scattered clouds in the sky. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip of water. So how are we doing here? So for those watching the stream right now, are you guys imaging anything? Are you I'm using guys in the Midwestern sense. Are you all um, imaging stuff tonight? And if so, what are you imaging tonight? And I'm gonna take a sip. Uh, but this is turning out nicely. That's good. I just kicked off the whole lineup. Well, that's cool. For me, I'm so these so the one's telescope will go for a total of 20 minutes. I mean 40 minutes, and it's already on the second target, so it's still got at least 20 more minutes. And then the other one is an hour. No. Yeah, it's an hour, and so it just started. So it'll be going till midnight. Maybe I'll only run this stream till midnight. Maybe just long enough to kick off another panorama, another mosaic like I did yesterday of the North American Nebula. Because I only got a few minutes of data from that because I was having issues with clouds, and I see clouds on the sky camera. So we'll see. We will see if I end up running into the same issue tonight. A two by two mosaic of the Pelican Nebula. Which one is that one? I like I say, I like getting suggestions. I mean, I often end up imaging targets that people mention just because I'm like, there's so many things. I see 5070. Oh, I actually can image IC 5070. Oh, okay. I know which one that is, I think. Let me see. No, sorry. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, the one that's right next to North American. Well, that's cool. Let me. Okay. And Seestar is imaging M101, and the dwarf is on the Cave Nebula. That's interesting. Let me look up Cave Nebula. I mean, some of these targets I can't really image here, so it's also vicarious observing. Oh, Cave Nebula. You know, sometimes I'll just be kind of moving around. Yeah, it's in the neighborhood of the North American Nebula. There's times where I'm kind of just panning around in Stellarium, and I'll run across like here you see this nebulosity, and I won't necessarily, because I don't have SH objects turned on or Caldwell objects, which I could fix that. Let me fix that real quick. Is it in this one? No, it's in this one. You can go SH objects, and so then I think I had it on at one point and I turned it off because it ends up with so many things. Because yeah, see, like all these things, all these SH objects that weren't marked before but now are. But like I have like different things like I have like quasars turned on, not on this screen, but another screen. I did turn on ARP and Able objects, but I haven't turned on some of these other catalogs because, yeah, actually, let me try turning on the call. Is it Caldwell? I'll turn those on. Why not? Cool. But yeah, so that's cool. So 7 Messier objects. We've got M72, which as you can see is not visible where I am. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really low for me right now. Maybe it'll be visible later. Will it be visible later? Yeah, like it's visible at almost 3 in the morning for me. And then M73 is right next door. Oops, wrong. M70 is visible around 1:30 in the morning. I keep doing that. I'm doing F2 instead of F3. M75. Not. I need to shut that off. M75 is not visible. M32. That rings a bell. Which one is? Oh, it's Satellite of Andromeda. That's why it rings a bell. And then M110 is also satellite, but which one is M30? Oh, jellyfish cluster. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, so none of them, I don't feel so bad. Although some of those aren't visible until much later for me. Oh, Iris Nebula. How, walls? How dark are your skies where you are? Because that's always, because I'm Bortle 9, and that's always a question I have for others. Because, like, if it's a faint object and the person's at a dark sky, has a dark sky where they live, like if it has low surface brightness, sometimes I won't even try it. Where is this one? Can I even see it? Actually, I need to go back to my current time. What I need to do is resize this so it doesn't keep getting interference from the dock on my Mac. Actually, it is visible right now for me, supposedly. Yeah, because this is a phantom obstruction, so theoretically I could see it. It doesn't look that dim. Okay, so you're Bortle 4-5-ish. Yeah, I think I have tried this one before. I don't know if I have or not. I think I have, but I think I was doing it during a full moon, or there were some other extenuating circumstances, and so I didn't get a good result. So that's too bad. But meanwhile, I am really kind of excited for more people to start using the web interface, or to start contributing more to the web interface, because some of the features that we've kind of discussed, I think, like entering all of those objects in manually, it would be great to just kind of give it a list, and then just maybe my thought was even just have kind of a batch mode, not even like the restore where you kind of do it manually, but just give it a like it pops up a dialogue and says, you know, and you just enter all the raw object names, and then it kind of fills out the schedule for you. That would be awesome. And another thing I was thinking is maybe we could actually do it in memory, so then we don't have to deal with editing. So it could like build it, but then if you need to add stuff, actually I have some ideas on how to do that, but I'm trying not to put too much. I've tried not to make the web interface too heavy, like putting JavaScript in it, but I keep coming up with things that I want to add that I'm afraid I'm going to have to do JavaScript, or somebody's going to have to do JavaScript. So yeah, it's a dark note. Yeah, pretty rough in Bortle 9. Yeah, Wiley Site knows, because he's got the same problem. 2 hours of imaging to get it, didn't get a lot out. Yeah, I think I did like half an hour, and it was yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't good. Portal 3 very close, but then you have to leave your couch. I fully understand. I rarely because I work from home and have for a while. I like, yeah, I leaving the house scary, especially Texas in the summer. Scary, might melt. Camping what Portal 2, that'll be great. Yeah, somebody was saying that. Somebody said that to me too. Somebody was messaging me, like on Discord, like individually. So let me look at that. I'm curious. So actually, oops. I'm like, I have multiple browser windows open and I had the focus on the wrong one. So let me dismiss that. And let me go look at, do I actually have this? No. It was S50 lib. It looks like the schedule's moving on this one. It's moving to not this one, but M52? Why does it say it needs to translate it? M52. That's hilarious. It thinks I need to translate it. So it's moving. This one's moving on to M52. And then that'll go 10 minutes and then the two oops. So let's go back to S50 lib. Where did I see that? I saw it somewhere. Oh, was it in Cloudy Nights I saw it? S50 lib. I know I saw it somewhere. It's another thing on Discord. I thought I had made note of it somewhere. Let me look here. Oh man. Let me switch to the view. You can't quite tell, unfortunately, on this middle one. It failed. It totally failed. It was so now it's going on to the Crescent Nebula. So this one, M52 failed, so I'm going to make note of that. Failed. M52 failed. Obstructed. Okay. Yeah, you can see on the screen, like, actually, the Crescent Nebula might be obstructed too. Or I hope it's not, let me go back. Let's look at the deep sky a little bit more closely. Oh, that's weird. I guess the dew shield didn't fall off. You can see it on the one on the right. But where the telescope on the right looks like it's obstructed. But I wonder if it was like pointing at the other telescope because the other one's higher up. But then it looks like, no, that's weird. It was just a transient failure because it hadn't downloaded the image yet, but now it has. So you can see, let me pull this up. It's fine. Never mind. I retract that. You can see the nebulosity here. It's just starting to show up. So that's good. So just one failed, not two. So let me go back to, let me see. Oh, so it's on the Telescope Underworld channel dedicated to it. Oh, Cherry Springs State Park, 3 hours away. I mean, 3 hours away, that's That's in Texas. That's how far I have to drive just to get to my mailbox. No, not. It's not that bad. But yeah. Let me see. I thought I had made note of it somewhere. I thought I had seen the source somewhere that wasn't just on Discord. Let me see. I'm looking kind of. I had pulled up some stuff earlier, and I had a bunch of GitHub. I had a bunch of GitHub stuff open. Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. That's weird that I couldn't find it. But yeah, so this is the code. Okay. Oh yeah. That's how far. It'd be nice to go to Cherry Springs. Yeah. Actually, where is Cherry Springs? Okay. Oh, okay. It's in that part of Pennsylvania. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, you can kind of tell based on everything, like the interstates and stuff, there's less, and it's I guess near the Allegheny or part of the Allegheny National Forest. Oh no, it's the Susquehannock State Park. Anyway, yeah, western Pennsylvania. I was just curious where it was relative to when I drove through Pennsylvania going to the solar eclipse back a few months ago. So this S50 lib. I just brought up the. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay. Let me switch to the computer view. Okay, so S50 lib. Oh, it's based on. It's a Python function based on. Huh. I'll have to look at that. I mean, because if it's. And it gets the coordinates from Simbad. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, this would be good to integrate if we could integrate it in. Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah. Yeah, the one I always wanted to go to was the one that was out in Fort Davis. I never went to that one. Yeah, I should. This would be. I mean, the fact that it. Let's look at the code. So is this the main? Okay. User network geolocation. And then, oh, that's the run. And then the lib. It's 233 lines of code. That's not too bad. Okay. Get coordinate object. And it's querying object from Simbad. Interesting. Yeah, I need to, very interesting. Connect, send all. JSON message. I need to read this code because it would be nice to add kind of batch functionality. And if this already does it, yeah, that would be cool. All right, so let's see where we are on the scope. So this one is, oh, nice. M92 is turning out nice. And that one was, oh, this is the last target. So this telescope's almost done. Yeah, so what I'm using to control the, sorry, let me, I've been a little eye strain. So what I'm using is this, basically it's a web interface that was recently added to the Seestar ALP project. So it's this project, and it provides an interface, an alpaca interface that like you can have, if you have Windows, you can have an ASCOM driver and then use Stellarium to control it. But it also has the ability to do kind of batch scheduling, and that's it was only through an API call, which wasn't as approachable, and so this web interface helps make it easier. And so I actually have two Seestars running, so you can see this one is right now. Unfortunately, there's no feedback on the screen, but I'm looking at my phone, and I'm just using my phone for monitoring. I didn't schedule any of this through my phone. I only scheduled it here. It's now running this one, and it's not really a mosaic. It's a 1x1 mosaic, so it's just taking a single image, and then it's going to do NGC 7635, which is the bubble nebula, and the other one is almost done. It's on M92 right now, and that one is this one. And again, I just have this up to monitor it, but all the scheduling was done through the web interface. So you can go like on image, you enter the target name, which it's just an arbitrary string. You can call it whatever you want. You enter the right ascension, declination, whether or not to use J2000, how much session time, gain, light pollution filter. And in the case of mosaic, it's the exact same screen, except you can specify the number of panels and how much they overlap. So I could do a 3x3, and I'm going to do it once M92 finishes, because this is on yeah, the one that I have on the with the pier mount. So once that finishes, I'm going to schedule a NGC 7000 North American Nebula. Skywatcher Star Adventure tripod in stock. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know which one that is. Yeah, yeah. Not Skywater, Skywatcher. Skywatcher. Yeah. So, are you talking about this one? This one that has kind of this tray here? Because that's actually that's the tripod that's on this telescope. That I ended up getting the kind of the kit when I bought both the Skywatcher Star Adventure GTI and also when I got the Skywatcher Solar Quest head. I went ahead and got it with the tripods, and now I'm not using. I am using the mounts, but uh, for the last few weeks, I've almost always had just the Seestars on it. Um, but yeah, so that's that's the one. This is the one that came with the Solar Quest, um, and then the Star Adventurer GTI came with this slightly different one that has kind of metal. I mean, it's a very metal. It's similar, but it's a bit heavier, and it also has this pier extension. So you can see that this one that I have it on the pier extension. I didn't for a while I was running it without the pier extension, but because of the obstructions, I've been trying to keep it above things. Yeah, the Star Adventurer in this field. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, but I need to look at this S50 lib. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, when I got them, I got the whole kit. So I think it was on sale when I got it. But I got basically this whole I mean, I got this whole thing, and this is what I was running my my 75 millimeter refractor on, with like a really heavy camera, like heavier than most mirrorless cameras. It was a very heavy camera, but I was running that on this for the solar eclipse, and that's what I used to get the close up video, or relatively close up. Yeah, yeah. I think the reason why I ended up going that route was I wanted something that, I mean, the downside is it's a lot. It's more expensive and it's a lot heavier. But I wanted it for like these, like a couple of telescopes I have that are kind of within the weight range of it. And I had some others. I think the other problem is I had some star tracker and I had some issues with it at some point. So I was wanting something a little beefier. And so far it's been great. I just haven't used it as much as I would like to, especially now that I have the Seestars. But I do use the solar mount because I have an H alpha telescope, and so yeah, if you want to, yeah, I have to have that on some kind of mount, and so I use it on the Solar Quest mount, just because I don't have to worry about polar aligning it. I just kind of set it off and it goes fine and finds the sun, because it has a GPS built into it, and it has a little camera. Like, I mean, it's all internal. You have no control over it, but it's this thing, and that thing is the camera, and then you just mount whatever here, and it'll go. It'll go. I mean, it doesn't have a tremendous weight rating, but it was sufficient for what I needed it to do, and I've used it on a heavier, like a fairly, I mean, it was a 150 to 600 millimeter DSLR lens plus a mirror DSLR, and that was pretty heavy, and it did fine with that, and of course the solar telescope, it's been fine. But yeah, what it'll do is you turn it on, it takes a little bit of time, because I mean, 30 seconds or a minute, and it gets a GPS lock. And even in spite of my kind of constrained house or sky, it's able to get a GPS lock. And then it starts kind of, because it doesn't know its direction, it'll just start panning. And like this camera is basically looking for a bright thing in the sky. And so if clouds roll over just as it's getting there, it gets confused, and I found it got really confused one day. It was kind of funny because I had put it just outside the patio, and the everything was just aligned right, and it started tracking towards the house, and it stopped, and it was pointing at the house, not at the sun. And then I realized the sun was reflecting off the patio window onto the sensor enough that it thought I was looking at the sun, but it was like looking at the side of the house, looking at a window, a reflection of the. I was like, oh. So I ended up like rotating it, and then it was like, oh, here's the sun. I'm good now. Yeah, the GTI is. I've been pretty happy with it. Like when I want just a bit more than like just a smaller, like a small ish telescope, it's great for that. I mean, it's got a counterweight. I use it with a counterweight, and especially for the rig I was using, because I was right at the limit. I think it's rated for 15 pounds, and I had a good solid 13, 14, maybe more on it. I think I actually weighed it, and it was kind of pushing it, but it was fine. And it's got Wi-Fi control, so it's I've been pretty pleased with it. It did what I needed it to do. And yet it's not like overly bulky. Like it's fine in the back of the car. Yeah. Yeah. That would have been my ideal, but I mean, like that thing was 740, and I would have had to pay. I mean, the AM3s I don't think were out yet, or they were out, but they were hard. They weren't shipping as much when I got this mount. I mean, not this mount, but the GTI. And so I would have had to pay for like an AM5 almost three times as much just for the head. So yeah, yeah, and so I figured it's fine. I'll you know it kind of isn't as heavy duty, but it fits kind of that in between when I need a little bit more than a star tracker, but not um yeah. Although once I get a strain wave, I'm sure I'll use it a lot for a lot of situations, since they have can deal with a lot more payload without having counterweights, which is helpful. But yeah, I really like my GTI. No complaints. Um, Although there was one thing I was a little concerned. I tried to do the what do you call it? Um, the station mode with the GTI, and I made a mistake, I think, while I was configuring it, or there was some issue, and I'm like, oh, I should just reset it. Surely there's a way to reset it in the app. There's not. And then I looked online, and people said, oh, you can reset it if you have the hand controller. I'm like, I don't have the hand controller. It was like one of the few things you can only do through the hand controller and not the app, at least at the time. And um, I was, I was a little concerned, but because I think this was just before the eclipse. And anyway, it was fine, because it turned out I just took the batteries out, and it reset itself, I guess. Um, like maybe it didn't really save the settings or something. I don't know what happened, but there was a brief moment of panic when I was afraid that the mount wouldn't work for the eclipse. Um, oh, so this other telescope, I mean the one of the Seestars is moving on to the Bubble Nebula. So that's good. And let's see what this this one should be done by now. Yep, it's done. So what was I going to do with this one? Let me look at my notes here. So M29, M29, oh no, so that's the Bubble Nebula. So I just finished an M92. So those all succeeded. Now was NGC 7000. What I was actually thinking of doing is actually doing both telescopes on the North American Nebula to try to maximize the amount of data I get tonight. Let me see where we are in NGC 7000. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that yet because it'll be soon. Let me double check that it's. Oh no, it was behind by an hour. So it might actually work. So maybe I'll do what I've done before and I'll manually point it at the North American Nebula. Oh, I forgot. I've got this view. So I checked and it should be visible. So let me go ahead and try manually pointing it. Oops. Oh man, that's a bummer. Do you know if it's going to clear up, or is that it for the night? So I'm checking to see if, but that does remind me, what is the cloud situation like here? I mean, there were some of these high clouds, but this is 10 minutes behind, so I gotta wait for it to reload. Oh man. Yeah, there's a little bit. So it's funny, NGC 7635 failed. And I'll show you why. Look, it's at least partly obstructed. So I'll leave it that one for a little bit and then I'll try again. Or maybe I'll point both of them at NGC 7000 if it's visible. Yeah, so there's this high kind of haze, but that's still somewhat manageable. Let's see. Well, it claims it got it, so maybe it's okay. Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, I'm probably going to kick off both of these while I can. Actually, before I do, let me look at Astrospheric and see what it says. It alleges. Now, it does say that there's going to be possibly some cloud cover here. But then again, last night it didn't say there was any, and yet there was. Yeah, but what's out there right now is kind of wispy, so maybe that's okay. So this was this one. I'm gonna go. That's interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and schedule this one. So this is on. That's this one. Okay, yeah, just double checking I'm looking at the right one. It's the Seestar B, and so I'm going to clear the schedule, and I'm gonna re-enter the coordinates just to force it. Oops. So image GC 7000, and oh no, I'm doing a mosaic. Yeah, I mean it's possible. I mean, like last night I thought I was done, and then but it wasn't maybe necessarily solid overcast, but it did eventually clear. NGC 7000, And that is 20 hours, 58 minutes, 48.56 seconds. And 3, I'm going to do another 3 by 3. Wait, 58. Okay. Just making sure I'm putting in the right things. It's 44 degrees, 19 minutes, 40.7 seconds. 3, 50% panel overlap. Use J2000. Total time. I'm going to do 9,000 seconds again. So that's like 3.5. Oh, do I want to do 3.5? No, I mean 2.5. That's 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's 2.5 hours. That's okay. That'll go till 2 in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and kick that off. Oh, forgot the gain. Let me make sure none of these got unset. And submit. Okay, that looks good. Oh, and it immediately started running. Cool. Cool, cool. First panel. Yeah, so that is going. I wonder, I'm tempted to try NGC 7000 or 7635 on this one again. 7635. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll go ahead and just do that anyway. Switch back to this one. I'm gonna clear the schedule. Do an image. And that's NGC 7635. 23 hours, 20 minutes, 49.17 seconds, 61 degrees, 11 minutes, 50.0 seconds, 23, 20, 49, 61, 11, 50. Okay, so I'm going to do this for half an hour. 80, use light pollution. Do I want to use light pollution filter for that? Do I want to use a light pollution filter to that? I think I do. I'll use a light pollution filter, why not? And gonna go ahead and, nope, toggle. Okay, it's immediately kicked off. So we'll see how that works this time. Because it looked like it was close, but it was close to being unobstructed, so I'm going to just go ahead and hope that it, and this one is starting to return stuff, so that's good. Let us bring up the Omni view. And it does look like it still has that kind of, I mean, so long as it keeps that level of clouds where it's just kind of those really high wispy ones, I can deal with that. But if it ends up more than that, then I may have to pack it in. But yeah, it's all running. Yeah, you can see some more stuff coming through cloud wise, but not too terrible so far. And the North American Nebula is going, and the Bubble Nebula looks like it's finally going. Well, that's interesting. It was just like slightly obstructed, and now it's not. Okay, so okay, well that's good. I mean, not for you, but at least mine look more promising. I think that's the star that's in the bubble. So I'll let that go for a while. And the other one, since it's 3.5 hours, or 2.5 hours, I keep saying 3. It's 150 minutes, 9 panels. It's 1,000 seconds, just over 15 minutes per panel. So, yeah, now it's just, of course, I say that and then stack failure, but I don't know how windy it is. That might be part of the problem. How windy is it? It says gust at 12 miles per hour, which isn't terrible, but it's yeah. What else? What was I gonna look up? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anyway, sorry. I was looking at the Discord server, see what I missed. Clouds in Galveston, Texas City. Yeah, the problem is I'm not too far from, I mean, relatively speaking, Texas City is, I'm kind of on the, I'm near central Houston, but I'm kind of on the south side of it. So it's, it depends on how far up the clouds go. But I see it's, like on the sky camera, it doesn't look terrible. Not compared to what rolled through yesterday, right in the middle of imaging. But yeah, I mean, this one's starting to show some nebulosity, which is good. I mean, I'm going to have to do a lot more with this. And I really should have kicked them off at the same time. Maybe the next time it's clear, I'll do that. I'll run both telescopes at the same time at the same target so I can collect data twice as fast. Hopefully it'll be clear again before the moon starts interfering again. But okay, League City and North. Okay, oh that is south of me, so that's fine. Cool. Yeah. So that is running. Yeah, I may not go as long tonight, because since everything's automated, I don't necessarily yeah, I'm just unless we want to chat about something. I should do make a point. I mean, the problem is it's so late, and I'm not always as alert as I would like to be at this hour, because I often get up not super early, but reasonably early. But yeah, I mean, this is a case where in the winter it'll be better. Yeah, see, look at the clouds coming. I mean, again, it's just more the kind of a cirrus kind of cloud coming through, but you can see a bit more on this on the sky camera. Yeah, the Texas Star Party. Is that still going on? Because I've let me switch to the computer view. Because that's the one I always wanted to go to. Mostly because I like going to Fort Davis. Oh, okay. They had it. Wow, Deborah Bird started it. Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. Because since Texas was supposed to be like the place to be, um, okay, that's good. Is it at the same place that, is it still at the Prude Ranch? It looks like it's still at the Prude Ranch. Yeah, because I remember, yeah, like that back in the 80s. Um, April or May. Yeah, that's cool. How many people show up for it? The fact it's run by 50 volunteers. Um, yeah, well, let me know if you end up going, because hopefully I'll make it out there finally. Um, yeah, but yeah, Texas Star Party. Yeah, that's the one I always had heard about, because I guess just because it had been running for years. I don't know how long the Texas Oklahoma one had been going. Okie Tex, of course, not Texas Okie. Um, how long has it been going to? Oh, 84. Okay, so it was dating myself here, but it was a relatively new star party when I started um, kind of being aware of some of these star parties, whereas the Texas Star Party had been going for a few years at that point. Um, so yeah. Oh yeah, I mean some of those, yeah, I can see that some of those areas up there. Um, Black Mesa, Oklahoma. Oh, that looks cool. I think I didn't go to that area, but I drove. Did I drive near it? I think. Um, I think I drove near it. Oh wow. Actually, that's not where I expected it. I have not driven near there. Like that is right next to New Mexico. Wow. And Colorado. Like look at that. It is only like it's like adjacent to, I mean it touches New Mexico, that park, and it's like 2 miles from Colorado as well. That's really cool. That's like one of those kind of, and it's in that like really, and actually it's close to Texas too. I mean, not as close, but because it's in the panhandle there, it's, yeah, like tens of miles from Texas. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That was not where I was expecting it. Oh, that's cool. I could oh no, it's not really. I was like I could swing through New Mexico and go up there, but that would be hundreds hundreds and hundreds of miles extra to get there. It wouldn't be unheard of for me to do that, but yeah. Like I've driven up to Lubbock a lot from Houston. And it's even like just that much further. And then Amarillo. Like sometimes I'd go out to California that way. I just for a little variation I'd go up through Amarillo, Albuquerque and then go to the Grand Canyon. Um, but yeah, and then kind of go down to LA. Long drive, but some neat terrain out there. But yeah, that looks interesting. That looks really interesting. And I could see why it would be Portal 1 too, because like there's nothing near there. I mean, like nothing within, uh, like everything's at least 100, like about 100 miles away to Colorado Springs, Santa Fe, Amarillo, Dodge City, um, which I don't think has many people. That would be cool. But honestly, Fort Davis is easier to get to because it's interstates the whole way, almost the whole way, and then fairly short drive down like from Balmoria. Or yeah, that's the route I usually take. Although I have come down Fort Stockton through Alpine and then up that way if I wanted to go through Alpine. Um, yeah. But yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Very cool to check out. Um, how are the clouds don't look too bad. Yeah, almost 3 hours. I mean, driving wise, it looks like it's about 100 miles, like uh, as the proverbial crow flies. But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, like, but yeah, like and a lot of those roads, based on past experience, they're not the fastest. You're not necessarily going to be driving 80 on those roads if they're even paved. Um, I remember I was on a car trip when I was younger, and we were driving through Texas, but it was like a small state road, and we got to like it was somewhere up here, like in the Panhandle, I think, of Texas, somewhere up here, and we were heading into New Mexico. Maybe it was down here, and like we're approaching the border with New Mexico, and it's like, yeah, okay, New Mexico, 2 miles or whatever, and crossing the state line into New Mexico, and then it's like pavement ends like 200 feet, and it was gravel for like the next 80 miles. That was rough because we were in a sedan, not exactly not exactly the best for driving. It was so loud, uh, and there was literally, I think we may have seen one other vehicle that whole time driving this gravel road. Uh, yeah, it was kind of cool. We saw. I mean, we must have been relatively near. Okay, so like it's going to the next panel. We must have been relatively near to a military base because we saw some. I mean, there's a bunch of them out there, but we saw some jets doing an exercise like dog fighting. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I think I messed that up, but that's fine. The bubble's continuing. But yeah, I definitely want to do the Texas Star Party because that one seems a lot more um, straightforward. And I guess I'm just very familiar with that area. I know there's like one or two places that I usually actually it's like one hotel I always stay at out there, hotel motel. Um, it's usually I mean there's only I can only think of two in town. Maybe there's more, but I can only think of two. Okay, this doesn't look too bad cloud-wise, so that's good. Maybe I'll get a bit more data tonight than I got yesterday. Um, so this is going to be going to past 2 in the morning, so I'm probably not gonna. I'll probably wrap this up before midnight, and just I'll keep the North American Nebula going. It yeah until the morning. Um, I'm not till the morning until 2 in the morning, and yeah, that's probably all I'll do. Star trails. I think it must maybe it's just windy, or maybe a little gust came along. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Yeah. It has it changed at all? Has it gotten better at all on this? Was it you said you were looking at weather underground? That what was that? Oh wow. Hmm. It's still pretty overcast. That's air quality is good. Daytime UV 11. Um, oh, interactive satellite map. Interactive satellite. Okay. Oh yeah, that looks pretty socked in there. I mean, there's like a little pocket here maybe, but mostly it is pretty. It looks pretty. But which direction is it going? That's always the question. Is it even updating? It's very slow to update. Yeah, so go to the interactive satellite map. Um, like which direction are the winds going? Because that would like if it's coming from the east, then okay, okay. So oh, it looks like it's going that way. So I mean, although it could clear maybe that area, although is that still clear? Yeah, they're like there's some areas. There's some areas over here. Whereas for us, where I am, like the east side of town looks like it has thicker clouds. I wonder where that's moving to. Oh, that's interesting. So there were a bit of kind of clumps of well, it looks like it's coming this way, so I mean it depends. If it just is going kind of north, then I'm okay, but if it's not going north, if it's going more north west, then it could end up going over me. Is it still loading? Yeah, we'll see. This could start interfering with me, but we'll see. But yeah, what caught my eye is this is the front page about this hurricane. Uh, since I'm close to the Gulf of Mexico, that's a little bit more. Um, yeah. Okay. Okay. The current cone has it hitting the Yucatan on Friday. Um, hmm. And that's going to be a major hurricane all the way through Wednesday. Yikes. Hmm. All right. Well, okay. Winds out of the north. Yeah. Who knows? There did appear to be some areas where it could clear. Um, but yeah, it might clear. Now, are you just doing a series of photos, or are you doing like a mosaic, or both? And that's why it's good to have those wait fors, so it just fails some things and but won't kind of fail the whole thing. Um, so that is imaging. The one is up to 16 minutes, and I think I did 16 minutes of data. I did 30-minute exposure, and this is on panel 2. Um, oh, the mosaic. Oh, right. Yeah, you did have a mosaic. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, the good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it could be worth keeping it going. Um, I mean, since it's set up and it's all queued up, and if it clears, it clears, and it looks like, I mean, depending on the which way the winds were blowing, it did look like there were some kind of pockets of clear. So you never know. I mean, I guess that's the other advantage of the automation is you can just kind of schedule it, and if it fails, it fails. And see, this is exactly why we need to have save and restore of schedules, so that way if it completely fails out, you can take the exact same schedule without having to re-enter it, and we can just reload. You can reload it in. Um, or if you just want to collect more data on the exact same targets. Yeah. I mean, part of me wants to implement that, but I think it would be good if somebody else does it. Just I think that would be a nice project to work on, adding that, and it would definitely be very useful, very useful. And it would make the whole workflow just that much nicer. Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Um, yeah, I think I might start wrapping it up soon because this is going to be running for a while, and yeah. But if there's anything anybody else wants to bring up, otherwise, I know sometimes I kind of end the stream rapidly, but it's mostly because you know don't want to drag it out. But yeah, so let me see what my weather is looking like here for the next few days. I mean, I looked at it just a bit ago, um, but it could be. Now, Monday looks highly suspect. Tuesday might be okay here as well. And if it ends up being good here, I don't know that I'll do a I don't know that I'll do a YouTube live stream. I might just stick with a Twitch live stream. Um, or maybe I'll do like an unpublished stream. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Uh, but I'll leave a community post about it just to uh, whatever I end up doing. But Tuesday looks doable here. Wednesday does not. Thursday does not. Friday does not. Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So it's going to be and yeah, we could, who knows, we might end up with rain later in the week if depending on how close that hurricane gets to here. Like it doesn't even have to be that close to kind of get wrapped caught up in the outer bands. So yeah. What else? Yeah. So I think that's yeah, so I'll do a live stream. I might do a live stream Tuesday, depending on the weather. Friday and the weekend are probably going to be a wash next weekend unless things change drastically. So I might just maybe I'll do a live stream like like a non-observing live stream. I just have to figure out a topic. Or maybe I'll just scratch the live stream and just put out a video next weekend. But otherwise, I think that might be it for tonight for me. Let me check the telescopes one more time. Yeah. So I've got actually, that is an excellent idea. That is an excellent thought. You know what I could do? I could do, because I've seen Quiv the Lazy Geek do this. I could do an earlier live stream on Friday, which people probably are more likely to show up for if they want to. But I'll do like some live processing of some stuff. And actually that's a very good suggestion because I have some thoughts on some tweaks I want to make to my live processing. I mean, to my processing. And that would also give me a few days because the amount of stuff I need to go through is substantial and I would have to have it on an external SSD, but the SSDs are pretty full. So it would give me time to clear them off. So then, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Wiley Site. You are always, you're maybe more helpful than you realize in helping me either unintentionally prodding me into doing things or giving suggestions. Yeah, no, that's a great idea. Because actually I still have been meaning to do a... Oh, did this one finally finish? Oh, the bubble nebula finished. Yeah. I may kick it off again just to get more data. But basically, I was thinking I had started making a video of like a few weeks ago on kind of an update on on processing images from the Seestar, but then I hadn't finished it and I had started changing the way I was processing images. And so I kind of scrapped that and I might go ahead and do the video, but I think I'll do the live stream about it to help get through my backlog. Great suggestion. Thank you. And actually that might be another thing I didn't do it this time, but I should do it again, or I should do it next time, is more actively mention the Discord server, because I've I've always been I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the Discord server. Like I was thinking, I'm like it's helpful for occasions because of the way YouTube is. You can't, like, you can chat during a live stream, but you can't share links or images. And so it's helpful. It's useful for that. But then I also, like, I see some people have like Discord servers that are only if you're like a Patreon or whatever. And then I was like, you can do both and basically have it open and then just have certain channels for supporters. Um, not that I'm at that stage, but I'm just trying to think ahead. But yeah, so maybe to try to, I'll start thinking about for the next time, just making sure that I bring that up, and um, more people join the Discord. Is Quana where you're doing the camping? Quana. Um, Quana. I'm having Quana. Oops. You've reached the end of the list. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Hopefully it will clear, or hopefully it will be clear, because that would be a bummer. Um, let's see. Oh, right. Yeah. Um, okay, copper. Okay, copper breaks is between Quana and Crowl. Um, let me kick that off. But yeah, that's a great idea. I think I'll definitely do the I need to make a note so I don't always forget, because like something will come up on the live stream, but then because I'm like time will elapse, or I'm like busy breaking down equipment and stuff, then it slips my mind. So yeah, since it'll be cloudy, unless there's some extenuating circumstances, I think Friday I'll do a live processing feed stream. Nice. Great. Okay. I probably won't schedule it too far in advance, because but maybe on Wednesday I'll schedule it for Friday, and I'll probably do it at like 7 p.m. Central Time, because that's when I had been doing some of the live streams, like the live observing ones. And again, maybe it's because it's so hot here, but that'll be one nice thing when it gets into the fall and winter here, is I can actually do live observing streams earlier, um, instead of so late. But yeah, so it's we're on the third panel now, which is cool. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up. And thanks for everybody who tuned in tonight. And if you haven't liked the video, please feel free to like it, because it does help. Because some of these live streams, I've noticed, it varies, but some of them end up getting sometimes get 2 or 3 times as many views after the stream's over. So um, uh, I need to be better about adding kind of time codes to it, but because I think that helps. But yeah, so and thanks for joining. Yeah, good night, Wiley Site, and for everybody out there who are watching this. Clear skies, and thanks for watching. Bye.